Hey.
I don't know if y'all know this, but it's been a while.
It's been a hot minute.
Because we've been putting out stuff. But personally for us, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So we might be a little rusty, or we might not be. So
yeah, it just comes natural. We'll
they
figure
probably
it
like,
out.
what are y'all talking about?
Right.
This is the Sufuria Chronicles. Our podcast to let you know about all things hemp
and cannabis related.
Yeah, all that good stuff, from infused foods to travel to new variants and strands of weed. I'm not talking about COVID. I know people like variants.
Right, variants. What's the new one out? H2564?
I don't know.
No.
That shit drop like iPhones though.
Real shit.
But we're back. We're here, and we got a few things to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Sufuria Chronicles. We're based in Philadelphia, and we just want to inform everybody and keep them up to date because we want everybody to use hemp and cannabis responsibly. We want y'all to be educated. So,
so y'all don't be out here going to jail and shit.
Exactly. So I'm one of your hosts, Dominique,
and I am your second host, Ashley.
All right, and we about to hop right into it.
Let's get it.
So, I know a lot of people already know about it, but we still want to put our 2 cents on it. The whole Brittaney Griner,
that she pled guilty.
Yeah, like she actually pled guilty, and I wonder, like, what was going through her mind with that. I don't even know if she had the strength to fight that because
I heard it was like prescribed from her doctor though.
It's just crazy.
But Russia laws, and then the stuff that's going on over there right now. They probably was like, we're gonna take this and run with it. Keep her.
But it's just so weird. Like, I don't know who dropped the ball on that, because like you just said, it was prescribed by her doctor. So I wonder, like, somebody should have told her, like, even if it's prescribed, you still can't bring that over to Russia.
Yeah, I think that I'm not sure, but doesn't she play over there? Yeah, she plays overseas, right? So
she shouldn't.
It's some things I feel like you should know, but then again, if that's something that she does regularly and she hasn't got in trouble for anything, then you just never know. Like, you never know the situation. She could have been doing that. I know where I was about to say,
like, did they all of a sudden find it on her?
Exactly. So it seemed like they did more investigation into it. They just like, no.
She plays over there. So did a doctor from over there prescribe it for her?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know. So much to this story. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but she was detained in the airport when that happened. So I don't know if that plays a big part. You can't travel with cannabis, at least in another country. And so she was detained, and she was detained for like over a year, right?
No, it's
before her trial.
It's close to a year. No, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, it has been. She's been locked up for like a year before her trial actually happened.
Dang.
Her trial is recent, and that's when she pled guilty.
Dang, this war has been going on for that long?
Well, the war, no. But her being over there, yeah. Actually,
I thought it happened after the war.
No, it happened before the war.
Damn.
So she was locked up. She got locked up last year.
Okay.
And she's been held in jail over in Russia, and then the war started. But she just got her trial like last month, where she pled guilty. So she was in holding for a year.
Wow, that's crazy.
And she just pled guilty and
sentenced up to 10 years in prison, y'all.
But I can't.
10 years.
I will
for a vape.
I can't do that. I don't know what made her agree to that.
Right.
I'm not doing 10 years.
I'm pretty sure she has a good lawyer.
But did it? Let me look.
Aren't they supposed to be like transferring her though? Then they go along with the whole.
They were working on it. They were trying to. U.S. was trying to get her over here.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything about her actually being transported, because they was trying to like trade her, because the U.S. is holding somebody who's from Russia. It was for like weapons though, right?
Yeah.
So that's different. Right. This person is in jail for weapons.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the same trade. That's not a fair trade. You want us to give you a guy who came over here with weapons. Lord knows what he was going to do.
Right.
And y'all want us to. He was an arms dealer. I don't care.
Exactly. Who cares?
Who is he dealing it to? Exactly. Anybody. he wasn't trading it with like government. Like, all right, you know, Russia sent me over here to come trade with y'all government. I got y'all stuff. Like, he not no Amazon dealer. He was coming over here to give it to John and them on the street so they can go shoot up some schools. Okay, so I don't know. That's not a fair trade. But yeah, the U.S. is working on getting her over here and then trading her for him. But it's just like that's not.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's crazy. I don't know, but yeah, she. So let me read this. So she said, "I like to plead guilty, Your Honor, but there was no intent. I didn't want to break the law." That's what she said. So I guess she's pleading guilty to having possession of it, but not agreeing with the law breaking. Yeah, over there. She said, "I wasn't doing it, to break the law. Like you said, it was prescribed to her." So I don't know if they were going to reduce her sentence. So it says she could be sentenced up to 10 years in prison. And her legal team hopes that her guilty plea will result in leniency from the court.
There's no way. So I'm reading it, and it says she was arrested for less than a gram. 0.7 grams of cannabis oil. Oil.
Okay, let's get that.
We all know what that is. Like, it's one of them little vape pen type of things. Well, not a vape pen, but
Yeah, I don't think it was a tincture. Tincture. Like, that's the kind that you digest. Yeah, but I think this was like a body oil.
Vape cartridge.
Okay.
So, but
it's to put in her vape. So it was oil for her to put in her vape. Yeah, but it's 0.7. I don't know. Russia was. I don't know their laws, but that is just so strict. 10 years? Like, y'all, I don't know. But, yeah, they're hoping that her pleading guilty.
She got it from Russia, first of all. Because where is she getting it from?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is her doctor from there? Like,
exactly. It's
or crazy. Did she get a prescription from her doctor in the U.S.? And I don't know how that went, but,
yeah. And then they also said that she was clean. She was tested. Yeah. So she didn't have any in her system or anything like that. So it literally is just transporting.
First of all, 0.7 ain't going to be in your system that long. Exactly. It's going to be gone within a few days, maybe a week tops. So when y'all held her in prison for a year, that shit was out of her system by week 2.
Exactly.
So of course she tested clean for it. Like, what are y'all... It don't make sense, but I don't know. I really hope that the U.S. like tries to help her.
Yeah. Especially if they can help a lot of these people.
Yeah.
Like, y'all know, the white people. No. But seriously, like, it's just, you notice the difference in this society on who they feel like helping and who they don't feel like helping. So, but that's another topic.
Yeah. It's sad. I don't know. I feel bad for her. And a lot of people would just be like, if y'all was in that situation, she wouldn't care about y'all. But that's not the point. It's just like,
right is right and wrong is wrong. And that's what it is. It's 0.7 grams, seriously? Seriously.
Yeah, that's so strict. I don't know. I hope
it had to be more to it. Like, it had to be more behind it for them to just be like, yeah, take her. 10 years.
I don't know. Maybe they were just being petty. They don't like us. She's also black. Yeah. She's a woman. I don't know. It could be a lot of things, but...
that can tie into it, yeah.
That's just like really harsh. So I hope for the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully she at least gets to come over here and like serve her time, do like a house arrest or something. I don't know.
Something.
But
not 10 years.
That's
10
ridiculous.
Years is ridiculous. It's, it just gets worse after this. So let's just go into these this article about these mass shootings. And
they're trying to link it to cannabis. Okay. That's come on now. All right. That's
you know how it go, y'all. They try to link everything to cannabis and try to blame that so they can just
try to link all right, shooters in general. They don't never try to say it's that person's fault. They always try to say it's their environment.
Right.
So when it's like teenagers shooting up a school, it's like, he played video games that are violent. Bitch, I play video games and I ain't never once crossed my mind to go shoot up my school.
Real.
I've been bullied. Well, not bullied. I've been talked about. Yeah, but it's like, I ain't never to the point where I was like, I'm about to go kill everybody.
Exactly. Never.
It's something wrong with that person mentally.
They need a psych evaluation.
And they don't want to admit that. And so they always trying to link it to something else. So that way it's just more control of what people do. So in this case, it was a man. What is his name?
Robert Cream. Oh wait,
Cremo or Crimo?
Robert Bobby is what they called him. Cremo the Third.
That name. Anyway,
that name sound like.
So on July 4th, it was a July 4th parade.
Yeah.
And
it was a shooting.
He was the shooter. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to say it was because him being a stoner.
Yeah.
So, in the article, it says that he's known as your typical stoner guy. I don't even know what that means.
Typical stoner type kind of guy. That was described by someone that he knew. So honestly, it might have been his dealer, whatever the case may be.
But that's so subjective, though, because like, what's a typical stoner guy? Because like
is that somebody that's always high, or is that somebody? What is that?
Like, we know people who smoke, and everybody who smoke is not the same.
Exactly.
Like, your typical is not the same as our typical. Like, some people people that I know who smoke be chilling. Mm-hmm. They get the munchies, they go watch TV, and they go talk about stupid shit.
Exactly.
That's my typical stoner guy. So you're like, he's the type of guy who like, I gotta go out and go shoot somebody.
Right. I'm high enough. Let me go shoot some people now. Like, what?
So I was like, so they described him. He was an isolated stoner who completely lost touch with reality. So let's stop right there. Mm-mm. Him getting high does not have nothing to do with that. He was already isolated. Exactly. That does something to people. People who are
raised in isolation or whatever.
Yeah, like they lack social skills. Yeah. Already that's something that could contribute to that.
They don't know how to interact with
They don't know how to say how they feel. Mm-hmm. They don't know how to properly express themselves.
Exactly.
So that right there should have been a link. But somehow we're going to they trying to connect it to him being a smoker. So they're saying that because he smoked so much, he lost touch with reality, that the psychosis that he got from weed is the reason why he went out and did that. First of all, I don't know what weed he was smoking, but it wasn't weed.
Exactly.
It had to been lace.
Something.
Don't know.
It had to be something.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know no weed that makes you trip like that.
Right.
They'd be like, oh, where am I?
Right.
Oh, let me go pick up a gun and go shoot people, or like I never experienced that. Like it's something deeper than that. It had to have been laced with something.
Yeah, for sure.
Because weed doesn't make you, at least for me.
Right. There are some weeds out here that are, of course, stronger than others. Yeah. You know that some of them give you like that psychedelic high, mm-hmm. that some people see demon type of high. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I don't think it has anything to do with the fact mm-hmm. that he was smoking weed. Like, the man literally obsessed over the number 7 and 4. Yeah, so, how do you link that to just weed? No, there's something else going on in his mind, and that's it.
We talked about that before. We said weed, for us at least, it heightens how you already are.
Right.
That at least I think that's how it is. So if you're already a paranoid person, you smoking weed can make that more intense.
Right.
It can, like you said, it can make you hallucinate. Maybe you'll start seeing stuff. But if you're a chill person, it could probably make you more chill.
Right.
So the fact that even before he smokes, or even if he doesn't smoke, he's isolated. He lost touch with reality. He obsesses with numbers 7 and 4. He's detached from people. Him smoking probably just heightened that.
Exactly.
So it's not to say that we made him do that.
Because he was already...
He was already thinking that way.
Exactly. He was already like that.
It just so happened that he was high when he did it, probably. Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, yep, it was the weed.
Yeah, and so it's just like...
It was his self-isolation. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is.
It probably gave him the courage, because, like, you know what they say with, like, liquid courage. Right. Some people, when they get drunk, they start speaking the truth. Yeah. And that's the case with weed.
Right.
It makes you brave to do what you was already planning on doing.
Right.
So it's like, they're just trying to say that it's because of that, that's what made him do it. And I just feel like that's really bad to, like, put out there. Because I don't know who wrote this. Like, I don't know the type of person who wrote it, but obviously I always get the feeling that it's people who already don't like weed.
Right.
And...
Yeah, I don't even see the author of this thing.
It's by Jacob Hess. And so like and like the in the title it says like long-term cannabis usage is associated with psychosis and it is dangerous to view it as a benign recreation. So you can already tell like what's their standpoint on that just by like that title alone. So they're like
their opinion is in there.
Yeah, they're like we got to let people know that weed isn't just harmless. It like it makes people do this and that, and it's just like it could possibly contribute to it,
right?
But it's not the only thing.
Yeah, it's not like it's not in them already.
Exactly.
So ridiculous. Like ridiculous.
So
and if that's the case, what about the other mass shootings that have happened? What did y'all link that to?
Video games,
right?
Being bullied, not getting any attention at home.
Right. They need to see the common factor in all that. Like
for the most part,
something deep.
The mass shootings that gets televised is mainly white men or boys, should I say, teenagers to like young adults, and the media be so quick to always say, "Oh, but they were a good kid. They come from a good home, or they were just troubled." It's like no.
Stop making excuses.
You can't make excuses. You got to realize that there's something else wrong with them.
Right.
And they got to take accountability for that. And so with this, it's something wrong with this man. And instead of saying, yeah, he need help and he went about it the wrong way, it's like, we made him do it. And it's like, no.
It's just the blame off of him completely. And said weed was the cause and the issue.
Let this be a black person. Not to say that they won't say that we wasn't part of it, but they'll go into it like, oh, he was a troubled youth.
Yep, exactly.
He used to be in a gang.
He was on the corner of 58th Street all the time. So like, we already knew.
They're like, we saw this coming.
Exactly.
Like, it's like, no.
You grew up in poverty. All types of stuff. But y'all can take this one single man and say, nope, we did it. Weed was the cause. Absolutely fucking not. Like, come on, guys. I don't know. The person that wrote this article, do your research, sir. That's all I want to say. Do your research.
Yeah,
I need some studies conducted. I need all that. I need the resources. I need everything to show that weed was the cause.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I think is in this paragraph it says, without a doubt, that was not lost on commentators last week, including Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham, who saw the potential influence of that pot psychosis connection on the violence as at least worth talking about. Ingraham spoke of mounting scientific evidence connecting violent behavior among young people to sustained cannabis use. What can regular pot use trigger in young men in particular? Psychosis and other violent personality, changes, she said. So it seems like they're trying to find a correlation, but like in the next two paragraphs, it says there is one correlation that is not hard to confirm, and it isn't all that controversial among scientists. The strong and robust correlation between regular marijuana use and psychosis itself. So,
are they trying to link the two?
They're trying.
Wait a minute.
they're trying. They're saying that it's been studies, but nothing confirmed it though. Because then they're saying it dates back to 1987. A Swedish study found that soldiers who had used cannabis more than 50 times had an increased risk of developing schizophrenia. The pot psychosis correlation has been confirmed repeatedly in the years since by a surprising number of respective studies.
They're also soldiers, though. You
exactly.
know how much stuff.
Exactly. I mean,
in the war, you know how much stuff they experience.
They're soldiers.
Right.
They was already on the brink of schizophrenia. Exactly. They seen some shit.
Exactly. So
it's
no, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And y'all never do y'all.
And it just says 50 times. It doesn't say like a day, 50 times a month. It just, I guess they're just saying they used it 50 times.
Right, in general.
Yeah, and it was enough to make them develop schizophrenia. They say in 2019, Lancet Psychiatry published a study of 901 Europeans ages 18 to 64, who were diagnosed with their first episode of psychosis. Researchers found that daily cannabis use was associated with 3 times the risk of psychosis, a likelihood that grew to 5 times with daily use of high potency types of cannabis, defined as products with more than 10% of THC, which is increasingly dominant in the US and as well, according to recent potency analysis. So, I mean,
My bad. It's a little technical difficulties over here. I'm trying to fix my mic. Give me a second.
But I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm not hearing anything solid as I'm reading this.
It's nothing solid at all.
Because I'm reading it and I'm trying to see, okay, where's the evidence? They say...
What studies did you actually do? Like...
It said they were diagnosed with their first episode of psychosis. Was that from cannabis? So it was like, okay, they have a psychosis and that was from the use of cannabis. Okay. I don't know. They're just saying that it's more likely that people who are heavy cannabis users are just more likely to be at risk for psychotic disorders, which is interesting because usually, I don't know, I'm not a professional, but when we usually talk about like stigmas with people with like disorders, it's usually a genetic thing.
Right.
Or something that could be triggered from trauma.
Right.
But I never, not one time, heard like a professor or like a professional say this was triggered by drug use.
Right.
Or in this case, cannabis. So I don't know. It's just weird. I just feel like, okay, I'm not saying that cannabis doesn't play a part. Because like we said, it could have given him the courage to go out there and go hurt those people. I'm just saying it's not the only thing. You can't just put it on like if you smoke heavily or if you use cannabis heavily, you're going to do this. It's going to trigger that. And it's like, no, it's so much more to it. There's just no one correlation. He was isolated. He already lost touch with reality. He's obsessed with weird things. And on top of that, he happens to smoke.
Yeah, I think they need to look at the full picture and not just point out it to be just one particular thing.
Yeah.
Because it's way more than that.
They really just want to get rid of cannabis.
Exactly. They want us to think that cannabis is the worst thing in the world and try to get rid of it. You know how this go.
It's just like, come on, stop. They ain't going nowhere. Go this hard for alcohol.
Right.
Because it's just as bad.
Listen, people over in China, they still, is it Korea? Who growing it now? China? Korea? They growing it in their backyard. Thailand. So if they ain't getting it here, they go get it there. So what y'all want to do? It's going to get grown regardless, okay?
So you might as well let people be smart and just,
Yeah, let them make their own decisions.
But, you can't tell people that. So in other news...
I know this stuff get deep. You think a lot of people are stupid, but it gets deep.
Philly has banned drug testing. And I know a lot of people are like, well, I ain't never get drug tested anyway. Good for you. But some places, like, it's law now that, let me be specific, for certain jobs, I think if you still work with like a healthcare or a child care, you have to get tested. Which
or
is
even
smart.
Even with machinery.
Yeah.
So like contractors, all of them, I'm pretty sure the big jobs require you to be drug tested. Mm-hmm. But the retail jobs, like I used to work at T-Mobile, they didn't require it. Mm-hmm. Target doesn't require it. Mm-hmm. A lot of the retail-based businesses don't require you being drug tested. Mm-hmm. Unless it's for a cause. So I think I do know that they can drug test you if something happened on the job. Yeah.
So if you seem like you're under the influence, then they have the right to test you because you're showing signs of it.
Yeah.
But prior to like taking like if you're doing the application, they took effect in January that you no longer have to do a drug test with your application for certain jobs. Mm-hmm. And the reason why they did this is because medical marijuana is legal. So, some people, use marijuana. So it's not fair for them to be tested when they can legally have it in their system. So I think that's pretty cool. Now we just have to work on it being legal recreational wise.
Yeah.
Because that don't mean anything. So you're just basically encouraging more people to smoke now.
Exactly.
But it's still not legal for them to smoke it recreational wise. It's still a medical thing, even though it's decriminalized in Philadelphia. That don't mean anything.
Yeah, it's still not legal.
It's still not legal for you. So it's just like y'all doing all of this. We might as well just make it legal. Like
right for that. Yeah, I think it was in the article it was saying that, you know, it was hard for people. The reason why they stopped it was because it was hard for people to get jobs, even the ones that was on medical marijuana. So they have people that use it like for autism or any type of disability that's, you know, it's medically prescribed to them, and it was hard for them to get jobs knowing like, you know, they need it. But they realized like, oh, well, if they can allow somebody that has a disorder or whatever to get into a job, even with, you know, having marijuana in their system, they should be able to do that for anybody else. So that's kind of why they took it away, because of the fairness, I believe. But again, it's still not legal. So you can still get tested if you're, I mean, you can still get drug tested if your job thinks that you're under the influence, like she said, or if something happens at the job, as like you driving a forklift and I know where everything on the floor, they be like, what happened, sir?
They're like, this nigga drunk.
Exactly. We're going to have to drug test you now, because now we think you're under influence, because how did it happen? Okay.
Yeah, it only applies to the application process. Yeah. So before, when you apply somewhere, drug testing was a part of the application process, whereas you don't have to do that no more. Yeah. So that's not to say, like you said, when you do get the job and then your employer asks you to be tested, you still have to do it. So it says this applies only to pre-employment drug screenings. The law does not require employers to change their existing workplace drug policies. So your current employer can still test you for cannabis use. What this says is they can't ask you to perform a drug test, which is a huge look at your health and at your bodily fluids, just to apply for a job. So that gives you time to actually clean out your system if for some reason you feel like when you get to work, they might be like, okay, now that you're hired, take this test. Because some people could be sneaky that way.
Right, exactly.
It's just that you don't have to take a test during the application process. Like, that won't stop you from getting a job. So you can still get hired, and then later on down the line, they can test you for it. Yeah. If they feel like they have to.
Exactly. And that's not saying that, like, they can't drug test you for anything, because they're still able to drug test you for other drugs, not just marijuana. So just be in mind of that. Keep that in mind. So if they want to test you for meth, they're able to test you for meth. Okay.
I feel like they should be able to see that.
Exactly. I'm just saying, you know.
They're like, you saw his mouth?
Exactly.
You got that mouth. Yeah,
the law only applies for marijuana, so they can't drug test you for that, but they can still drug test you for anything else that you have in your system. Okay. Before you're hired.
Yeah, before you're hired. Just make that clear. Drug testing is not part of the application process no more. Right. But it still exists. Exactly. So the only place where this is exempt from, like we said, would be for commercial driver's license, supervising children, medical patients, and people with disabilities or other vulnerable populations. So if you're applying for those type of jobs, even like at airports and stuff, if you want to be a TSA agent or whatever, for that application process, you will have to be tested. Right. That's out of the question. But for anywhere else that doesn't require that, it's not part of the application process. So we just thought people should know that, because some people will legit not apply somewhere because they're like, oh, I know I'm going to have to get drug tested. Yeah. And then they be like, all right, let me do a detox before I apply. But then by the time they detox, the position is going. So that's a good thing for people. They no longer have to detox and worry about not getting a job during the application process. So, you know, while you're doing all of that, you can detox and still apply, and they won't test you until later on. So that's a good thing. Yeah.
And there's like other questions that came about during this whole, I guess it was an interview or whatever. It's in the Inquirer. So they're asking like, are there any other exemptions? Yes, there are. The law does not apply to employers with a collective bargaining agreement that specifically addresses pre-employment drug testing. Jobs that require drug screenings under federal or state laws for safety or security are also exempt. That's out of pocket. But you know, but you know, I mean, I get it. Yeah. It also says that employers that are required to conduct drug tests to receive federal contracts or grants are carved out too. So a lot of government employees don't really gotta get tested, but you know, it is what it is. We already know how the government is. Let's see what else is in here. Who will enforce the law?
That's a good question.
Philadelphia. That's it. Philadelphia will enforce it. Oh, it's the Philadelphia Commission of Human Relations. They actually enforce the law. And that was said by Kevin Lessard. I think that I said his name right. He's a spokesman of the mayor's office. Let's see what else. Can employers be fined for testing candidates for marijuana? Yes, they can. So, if you work at one of the jobs that don't require you being drug tests, you can fine your employer. Well, you can, get a lawyer and they can do that. But you can fine them up to $150 to $300. And if the penalty repeats, then it goes up to pretty much $2,000 per violation. So don't fall for nothing, y'all.
Yep. No,
if
you're
you're
right.
like, oh no, we're going to have to drug test you. No, you don't, because
it
I know
says
my
right
law.
here,
Exactly.
I don't have to be tested.
Exactly.
And they won't tell you that. They
do your
prey
research
on people not knowing anything.
Do your research.
And they try to scare you, and that kind of like messes you up right there. Don't be scared. Call them on their bluff. Yeah. Like, all right, you want to test me? All right, let me go pull this up. I'm gonna give you a fine.
Yeah. Oh, quick story. This goes perfectly with this article. My ex-boyfriend, he was low-key a drug dealer. So let's just start there, okay? He was low-key a drug dealer. I mean, he wasn't that type of person that was like in the street all day. He did it because he was a weed man.
And we all know, just a little side hustle.
Yeah, a little side hustle. Never heard it, but whatever. But he got caught. Okay, let's just say he got caught. All right, he got caught multiple times. He actually got fired from one job, not for that particular, but when he went to go apply for another job, they end up giving him the job. But then when they did the drug test and background check, it came back as like, I don't think he had anything in his system, but he had the charges for it on there. And they said like, oh no, we can't give you employment anymore. He sued them, you guys. He sued them for like 20 grand and got it. And it wasn't trying to, and the reason being is because he did his research on it. He was like, there's no way somebody can give me a job and then take it away from me. Yeah. He did his research. He contacted his lawyer. Do your research with these jobs. Look at the handbook. Look at everything you need to do for marijuana, for whatever. Do your research, y'all. But
it's the same as if somebody fires you.
Yeah.
Then, and then you like no, sue them.
Yeah.
Sue them.
Yep.
Don't let these jobs get away with this stuff, though. For
unfair termination, like wrongful termination. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people just don't want to go through that process. Right. But I'm like, do it, because they'll do it with you. Right. Because a lot of people will be like, I can't afford a lawyer, but sometimes your case is just like, you're going to win this.
Right. Regardless of anything, as long as you have the documents and stuff, the knowledge to back you up.
Some cases are just going to be like, no, this is a for sure win. So you don't even have to worry about like your lawyer's going to get their cut. You're going to win this. So it's not even going to be like a long process. Right. And then 9 times out of 10, the company going to try to at least give you they don't want to take it to court. Right. Because they don't want people to know. So they're going to try to buy you out or whatever. Or they're just like, or settle.
Yeah. They were like, we can give you a job. We're going to pay you. No. I forgot what it was. They was going to pay him, I guess, more than what it was. I'm like, and it was like, you're guaranteed a job for 5 years. It was like, what?
For 5 years.
Yeah, no.
So then what? By that 6th year, they're like, all right, you're going.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like, no. Like, so I know it's a process, but like,
it's worth it.
Yeah.
Especially when you know your stuff.
Because companies, they just have that power to intimidate you. And it's just like, you can't let them get over on you. So just know your rights. Like, they can't do that to you. So yeah, just know what you're getting into.
For sure. Now, just to let you guys know that this law only applies for Pennsylvania as of right now. I don't know about the rest of them, like New Jersey or Nevada, whatever. Like, we don't know about those, but this is particularly for Pennsylvania laws. So if you go over to Jersey and you figure that you want to get employed and they drug test you, you'd be like, no, you can't do that. They be like, ma'am, please go back to Pennsylvania because this is not it. Okay,
just do your research.
Granted, weed is legal over there, so they may have a whole different
it might
law
be
with that.
Again, they might not test you for it, but if you work for government and children and medical stuff, you'll probably have to be tested for that.
Exactly, regardless.
But yeah, just we keep promoting this. Be smart. Do your research. Okay, you just gotta be smarter about it. I want to play a little game real quick because we're almost done.
Yeah.
So I have a couple would you rather questions.
Ooh.
Just a few.
Spicy. It's like, no, I'm playing, yo.
So of course it's gonna be related to, weed.
Marijuana.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. So would you rather live in a world where weed is legal and alcohol is not, or live in a world where alcohol is legal and weed is not? We basically live in the second one right now, but just think about it.
I'm like,
but can you just imagine how it would have been like vice versa?
right.
If weed was legal and alcohol wasn't.
Right.
So like, which one would you rather live with?
This is hard. So like, okay.
I'm looking at my sound man.
Yeah. This is hard. So
which one would you do?
I'm not a big
The
first
first
one. I'm not a big
yeah.
yeah, I'm not a big weed smoker.
Mm-hmm.
But for how society is,
Mm-hmm.
I think I would rather have marijuana. And on top of that, it's less like you get less affected from it. So you know,
Mm-hmm.
like alcohol kills your liver, your kidneys. It kills a lot of that stuff. So I'd rather, a lot of calories go make people fat. Meanwhile, marijuana be making people skinny as hell. Like
Sometimes, because all right, it's so many different ways to take marijuana.
Right.
Because you can eat it.
All right, you can do edibles.
You can
and
drink
stuff like
it.
that.
Or you can smoke it.
Right.
And it's just like, okay.
But think about it. Just one little bar of marijuana,
Yeah.
like a cereal bar of marijuana.
Honestly think, I would rather live in a world where weed was legal and alcohol wasn't. Because, like I said
or it was just
earlier,
harder to get it. Because,
how it is now. Because
Yeah.
alcohol is going to be around, just like weed is going to be
Right.
around. It's just going to be illegal.
Yeah.
But can you imagine? I feel like people would be so more mellow.
Mm-hmm.
Because alcohol,
Just think about it.
a lot of
Teachers
people
smoking weed right before they go
they're
in
going to be
class.
chill.
Exactly. Shit, the students too.
I'll eat like a little pop brownie before I go to work. I'm gonna be
Exactly.
happy. Like
Everybody will be so chill.
I feel like people will be more chill.
like the workplace would probably be better. People wouldn't be stressed out. They be like, listen, you got a
Exactly.
quota to hit. I got you,
Yeah.
man. I'm gonna hit it.
And it
Like-
takes effect faster,
Right.
especially if you eat it.
Yeah.
Where you drinking alcohol, you gotta hurry up and guzz like this, like glass
Right.
or whatever, and then it can take a few minutes, or
Right.
then it hits you hard. But if you
Right.
just take like a little bite of a pop
Yeah,
brownie,
alcohol puts you in a place like if you have too much of it, like
Mhm.
you're everywhere, you're immobile, you're sluggish, you're just nasty.
Yep.
Marijuana, for me, for example,
Mhm.
I don't have that effect. So
yeah, and
it's
then
just more suitable, like
yeah,
better
with
to deal
marijuana,
yeah.
I never had the urge to throw up after
Right.
having too much of it.
Right, you just lay there,
Whereas alcohol, the room be spinning. You start praying to God, and you ain't talked to Him since you was 2.
Exactly. Tell
I'm
myself,
like,
I
Jesus,
promise
I ain't gonna drink no more.
I promise I ain't gonna do this no more. I told you last time, but this is the last time.
You say it's still in the room, still spinning. Yes, that's another good point.
Yeah.
Alcohol poisoning. It is technically poison.
Right.
So it's just like, I would rather live in a world where weed was legal and alcohol. I think I would like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good place to do. All right, another one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you rather fail a drug test for your dream job or spend a week in jail for weed? No, just say jail. Don't say prison, like no hardcore. It's just jail.
week?
Yeah. Would
Is
you
that
rather?
week gonna affect me from getting my dream job?
I don't know. Let's say
It depends.
yeah, it does depend. All right,
It depends.
because it could, because then your record could be on there.
Right, exactly.
So, all right, let's
So
say
if this happened, like, I can't even put this, I don't know.
all right, so
these
let's
are terrible
say
questions. Because, like, what? Honestly, no, because I don't have a dream job.
right,
I do not dream of labor.
Yeah, exactly. Say it again. but let's just say, all right, you go to jail, all right, but it won't be on your record.
Right.
But since you felt, I don't know, that's weird.
It's
Because I'm
so
trying to think
weird.
about like how would that even? Because if I go to jail, then like you said, would I still get my job though?
Right. Or maybe they're just saying in general, like, would you rather
Yeah.
fail a drug test or spend a week in jail?
'Cause, like I don't want to spend a week in
I'll
jail.
spend a week in jail if I still get my dream job. I'm just saying.
Right. If
But-
that's the option, then yeah, I would do
Yeah.
that.
But if
yeah,
that's not an option, then
yeah, that one sucks. I don't like that
I'll
one.
find another job.
All right, let me do one more.
Mhm.
Would you rather always get an insane case of munchies or fall asleep every time you smoke?
Fall asleep.
Um,
Fall asleep.
I don't
Getting
know.
the munchies, I ain't trying to pack on all that week.
I'm a fat ass. I love to eat. I don't know.
Nobody ever got the munchies.
Right.
You always get the munchies in one shit.
Yeah, exactly. So now you go
That's true.
out.
But that's why you gotta get your snacks before you smoke.
I just fall
don't know.
asleep. I like sleep. So
You always get a feeling for something.
I always see this me. I don't like taking naps.
okay.
I would smoke at night if that meant I would sleep through the night. Cause naps don't do nothing for me. I
Right.
get like real groggy when I wake up from a nap.
Mhm.
And then plus I don't like sleeping during the daytime because I always feel like I wasted my day and that makes me depressed for some reason. I just like I didn't do nothing with my life today. I slept the whole day. So
I ain't do nothing
Why you
productive.
smoke at night?
that's what I said. I said
That's
that
what
if that was the case, I would smoke at night. That way I can just sleep through the night. But I don't know, it's something good about smoking and then you chill it and then you just eating your food and then you watching TV. That's so relaxing.
Child. I be wanting the wrong stuff.
But it does say
I'm like,
extreme.
cheese
It does say extreme. I don't want to get fat.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go to sleep.
Go to sleep, y'all. Just go to sleep.
Just go to sleep.
I mean, you can take a bite of something, but just after that, go to sleep.
Yeah, I don't want.
And that's the thing. Like, you just can't stop.
Yeah, it said
It's like-
extreme.
It's like, I need food.
I'm gonna be on my 600-pound
food.
life.
Exactly. I can't.
All right,
Well,
y'all.
we wrapping it up, though.
That's all we got for y'all today.
Yep.
This one was pretty chill, and we're gonna come back to y'all next week with some more stuff.
Thank you for listening to us.
Yep. Hope you enjoyed it.
Sufuria Chronicles.
Yep.
And we'll see y'all.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.